Click the bell icon to get latest videos from Ekeeda.
Hello friends, I welcome you all to this video. We are with the chapter of microwave engineering to address the microwave transmission associated with a single conductor transmission line called as rectangular waveguide. Initially we had the knowledge from the parallel plate waveguide, and then we had shifted to see what exactly the rectangular waveguide is. In the rectangular waveguide, as it was very much clear that the ideal type transverse electromagnetic mode of wave propagation was not possible, we had the alternatives analyzed. Those were the transverse electric and the transverse magnetic. In the previous video, we have also addressed the power transmission and the losses, and with respect to all the knowledge that we have seen for the rectangular waveguide microwave transmission, we had solved the several problems also. Now let us address how the excitations corresponding to the various modes of propagation in the rectangular waveguide may be. So here we start with our topic, excitation of modes. So as the rectangular waveguide, a single conductor transmission line which can be defined as a hollow metallic tube having a cross section of rectangular section here. So rectangular shape we have given by such a figure here, a schematic you can say. So this is the rectangular cross section, and this was the larger dimension called as the breadth denoted by small a, whereas the smaller dimension was denoted by small b called as the width of internal cross section of the rectangular waveguide there. Now in this rectangular waveguide we have shown only one end of the rectangular waveguide. It may be certain length at which the another opening of the rectangular shape there will be possible there. Now for this rectangular waveguide we have either transverse electric mode or the transverse magnetic mode possible for wave propagation. Now in the TE we have m suffix n, for TM also we have m suffix n here. So we can have the possibilities as TE01, we make this E and this to be the T here. We have TE10, we have TE11, we can have the TE12, TE21. This way the higher order combinations we can go for. Now we come to know that TE10 is giving us the least cutoff frequency, as this is not propagated, we have validated. So this is called as the dominant mode of propagation, or in another case we can say lambda c is the maximum here. So the least cutoff frequency or the highest cutoff wavelength is defining the dominant mode of propagation. In the similar fashion, we can have the several combinations for the values of m and n, and we can have the TM11, TM12, TM21, TM23, TM32 and so on. So these are the various kinds of the modes of propagation inside the rectangular waveguide. So with what particular technique in practicals the waveguide can be excited to a particular mode, this is called as excitation of modes. So the practical solution is very simple. The excitation of modes inside the hollow cavity of rectangular waveguide is made up either by a probe or a loop coupling device. So what is this probe? The probe is nothing but a small monopole antenna. Certainly we shall draw a schematic and I will show you how exactly the monopole antenna is inserted inside the cavity of rectangular waveguide. Whereas the loop coupling device is nothing but the loop antenna. So as we know that microwave is basically electromagnetic wave. it has two parts, electric and that of magnetic. So we can also call the microwave to be EH waves here. So the monopole antenna that is going to have the excitation for the electric field intensity component here. The monopole antenna, we know that antenna is basically the interface that converts voltage and current information in terms of E and H when working as transmitting antenna, and when it is working as receiving antenna, it gets convert the information into the EH form to that of the voltage and current waves there. So it can work for both the cases here. So either to read what is the strength of electric field, we can make the use of such a probe, which is basically the monopole antenna. To read what is the strength of magnetic field intensity, we can make the use of loop antenna, basically the loop coupling device we can say, while we connect it to the physical waveguide in the demonstration setup there. So H is measured by the loop antenna here. So here we have the probe and loop coupling devices to have the excitations also while working as transmitting, and to read the strength while working as the receiving antennas we can see here. Now there can be a chance that we can have the excitation of modes with the help of more than one probe. So more than one antenna will be there inside the hollow cavity of the rectangular waveguide. So in that particular case, the care must be taken to have the proper phase relationship with the two or more than that the antennas, so that there should not be any kind of interference or reflections to occur with the signals of these particular antennas there. So out of the several combinations, we can go for the transverse electric and transverse magnetic modes of wave propagation. The very popular is the dominant mode. So dominant mode is denoted as TE10 mode. Let us have a simple schematic with which we can show you a single direction to excite the TE10 mode in rectangular waveguide here. So let us say this is the one wall of the rectangular waveguide, whereas the another wall is having the insertion of the probes here. So we have the probes inserted at these two openings we can see here, and they can combine to have only one RF output or input here. So this is RF input we can say. So this can extend in this direction, also in this direction, or you can draw it with a solid line also. So this is the first one, this is the another one. The spacing between the two is most possibly maintained at lambda suffix p divided by 4 here. Now this particular opening is having a certain depth inside the cavity and the distance with respect to the another probe also. So these to be maintained to see the maximum efficiency of operation here. So this is nothing but the antenna probe. This is also another antenna probe. We have 1 and 2 given the numbers here. So here the arrangement can be of, we have the direction for 1 like this, direction of 2 like this. This we can call out of phase here. And when both the directions are like this, we can say this is the in phase combination of the probes here, and these two walls are nothing but the waveguide walls here. Let us say this is the side view. So this is the top wall and this is the bottom wall that has the insertion of the antenna probes here. Also we can have the insertion of the coaxial loop coupling device here, so that the intensities with respect to the magnetic circles, the magnetic lines that are having the circular orientation, those can be determined for the particular strength values there. So in this particular schematic, we have discussed the excitation of the rectangular waveguide with only one direction for the T10 mode here. In general, we can have the schematic for rectangular waveguide like this. Into the 3 dimensions here we show, and here the cross section apart we have been shown here in this particular diagram. Let us say this is the part we have taken for lambda by 2 of dimensional length here, and from the bottom here we can have the insertion of probe here. So this is the probe that has been having opening from the bottom end, and it has been coming into the cavity, and here it is the antenna probe. So we have TE10 mode. When we work with TE20 mode, so that time, so let us say this is the another piece of rectangular waveguide, and if you see the cross section here, this is the broader dimension we denote by small a here, whereas this is the smaller dimension we denote by small b here. So at the bottom we shall be having the 2 openings separated by certain distance there, and these 2 are provided externally that combine further like this. So this is the having certain specific dimension, and these are nothing but the coaxial lines we can say that are getting the probes or the monopoles inserted inside the cavity wall here. So this is for T20 mode of excitation in the rectangular waveguide. On the other hand, if we have the cross section of the rectangular waveguide shown like this, from this wall also we can have the insertion of the probe inside. So for example, when we are working with the transverse magnetic mode TM11, the antenna probe may be helpful to have excitation. Now at this particular case, this particular end or the opening of the rectangular waveguide is short circuited. In the similar fashion, we can have again a cross section. So in this particular case also, we take the end with the short circuit mode here, and from the short circuited end of the rectangular waveguide, we can have the insertion of 2 monopoles or the 2 probes we can see here. So this is for the TM, we have TM21 mode of microwave propagation excited in the rectangular cross section here. So this was all about the excitation of modes into the rectangular waveguide. By the next lecture, we shall be addressing certain more characteristic features with respect to this device, a single conductor microwave transmission line. I hope you are definitely enjoying learning these topics for microwave engineering knowledge. For more information and the details like this, you can subscribe to Ekeeda channel.